Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Just make it louder. What is it this morning? Ginger. How are you, our favorite Nigerian wife, Dr. Abati, with the legendary introduction? How are you, Rufy on fire?
In fact, I want to even do a legendary introduction.
Go ahead.
You know, when I see you, Oji, when you come with your radiant yellow every morning, it just reminds me of Bossaran. Oh, make a clap.
Oh, wow. Rufai has always come. It's sunshine on a rainy day for me. Well, it is raining in Nigeria because of this increase in fuel price. Well, let's begin what's trending by taking reactions to the increase in fuel pump price by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Well, on Wednesday, NNPC raised the retail price of petrol to 1,030 Naira from 897 Naira per litre across some of its retail outlets, marking the second price increase within a month. The president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Ajaero, in a statement, said that the Labour Union is dismayed by the petrol hike, adding that the latest hike has grossly altered the calculation of Nigerians who are still trying to adjust to the current economic realities. His statement reads in part, "We challenge the government to go to the drawing board and present us with a blueprint for inclusive economic growth and national development instead of this spasmodic and ad hocism and palliative policy." It needs no stating the fact that the latest wave of increase has grossly altered the calculations of Nigerians once again at a time they were reluctantly coming to terms with their new realities. It will further deepen poverty as production capacities dip and more jobs are lost with multi-dimensional negative effects. In light of this, we urge the government to immediately reverse this rate hike, as previous increases did not produce any good results. People only got poorer. But fundamentally, the government should be bold enough to tell Nigerians in advance the destination it wants to take the country. I believe the destination the Tinubu administration wants to take the country is to deregulate and, completely remove petrol subsidy. But I mean, economists, analysts have said, is this really what is happening at this moment? I mean, like the NLC president has clearly stated, we are not given more information about this deregulation. We're not told ahead of time about this deregulation. How are we going to now recalculate our budget? Every other month, there's some sort of news that comes out from the NNPC. Complete disregard for the feelings of Nigerians. But President Tinubu had said when he was campaigning that, he was going to reduce this petrol hike. I just want to quickly play back a video, a 2023 video, where he was campaigning and he talked about the fuel prices. Let's play that video real quickly.
BBC láfi máa gbàjọba lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọn bá ní kò ṣepo àárín lọ bẹ̀. Kò sí ọgbọ́n ìdákúdàpọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n lè ní kò ṣepo. Wọ́n ti ń dọ́gbọ́n dá ọ̀rọ̀ kò ṣepo lẹ́ gbàgbé ẹ̀. Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, èmi aṣíwájú mo sọ fún yín, ọ̀rọ̀ ìkòyà á parẹ́ ní.
Ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀. Thank you.
Rufai's always dancing, but yes, is this really what is happening here? How many months now since Amagbewale? Rufai, are people actually laughing? Anyways, in the meantime, former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amaechi, has expressed his disappointment at the way Nigerians are responding to the nation's current economic challenges, stating that he had expected more visible reactions from citizens, particularly the young people. Let's take a listen.
I'm angry with the citizens. I've said it several times. You can't see a group of people stealing your money, impoverishing you. You can't buy fuel, you can't buy anything, nothing. And then you're still, look at what happened in Edo. Should any politician be campaigning in Edo? The people should be angry. There should be protests, not even protests of against anybody, it's against politicians. We will not vote. There will be an election in our state. That's what the people should be saying. Because the rate of hunger now, if people like us can't afford diesel, you can imagine what's happening to my mother. And, okay, but it's not put my mother because I will defend my mother. Those who don't have children like us. Because my mother is still alive, and there are those whose parents are still alive that can't afford. In fact, somebody said, well, what this government has achieved is that it has made Nigerians to be strong in the sense that Nigerians now trek. I know walking helps the heart. So people have learned how to walk to their offices.
All right, Dr. Abati, would he have said this if he was in this administration politics?
Minister, as he then was.
Yes.
Governor, as he then was.
Yes.
Rotimi Amaechi. He was governor in Rivers State. He was Minister of Transportation at the federal level. This hardship that we're suffering, was further compounded, created, established under the 8 years of somnambulism of the same government that he served under. Now he's saying people should be angry. Well, his statement could be interpreted as incitement, saying that Nigerians should go to the streets. In fact, he even went further to say he couldn't understand why people came out to vote during the Edo state election, where the only legitimate way to change government, to transit from one administration to the other in Nigeria, is through constitutional change of government, through elections. And here is Amaechi, who has been Speaker in the Rivers State House of Assembly, who has been governor for 8 years, who has been minister at the federal level, saying that he doesn't understand why people should vote. For his personal information, may he be reminded that Nigerians are indeed angry. They were angry under Buhari. Tinubu has added hunger to the anger. So Nigerians are indeed angry. They are indeed hungry. But now, it's very convenient out of government to sound like a radical. I don't know whether he has joined the Soars political party now that he's saying citizens. Is he not one of us? He's one of us. He's also a citizen. Why does he not himself go on the road to carry placards with members of his family to say that we are hungry and we are angry? That's that about him. The second thing, NLC is saying, well, this and that. Well, there are certain things that Ajaero said that may be relevant. He says that this will further make life difficult for people. That is true. If we have to buy fuel at 1,030 Naira, then of course it means life will become more difficult because there will be inflation. So Ajaero was commenting, just like Amaechi, on the state of the nation. He was speaking at an event. And he also went on to say government should do other things, but Labour itself must think out of the box. What alternatives has Labour offered? Labour has been fighting this fuel price matter since the days of Obasanjo, 99 to 2007. What alternative ideas did Labour put on the table? All these Labour people, before you know it, they will become governor. Before you know it, they will become, they will be given appointment. Before you know it, their life will be better. They will claim they are going on strike. Which strike have they done that has been successful in terms of giving options to government? You get to a point where Nigerians, we're even beginning to say that they no longer trust organized labor. That what is labor saying? Well, I don't imagine that Ajaero can take a unilateral decision to challenge government, but about the hardship that Nigerians are experiencing, and they will experience more as a result of what has happened, I think it's right on that score. Number 3, it was blaming NNPC Limited. I said earlier when we discussed this subject that NNPC Limited is now a public, a limited liability company. It's also a marketer in the space like all other persons. What NNPC Limited has said is that it will no longer be the main off-taker. The arrangement was they will off-take and then they will sell to the distributors within the market. Now NNPC Limited is saying, let everybody go to Dangote refinery. to go and take the products. They are not going to stand in between to provide subsidy of 134.16 Naira. They also have a stake in Dangote Refinery, 7.25% equity stake in Dangote Refinery. But I imagine that in the days to come, more details will come out. And the final question is, why are the refineries not working? I thought they said the Port Harcourt refinery has been mechanically completed. This mechanical completion is taking almost a whole year, and nothing is coming out from there. In December 2023, they said they were producing at least 60,000 barrels per day from that refinery. Where is that 60,000 liters? Yeah. Other questions. We don't even know how much fuel we consume on a daily basis in Nigeria. The figures keep changing. 43,000, 50 million, 60 million. Nobody knows. In a country that is supposed to be run by data. Now we will be, some importers, apart from NNPC Limited, will be taking fuel from Togo. Yeah. Which fuel are they producing in Togo? They will steal Nigerian crude to Togo. We will go and be buying from Togo. We will be buying fuel from other countries. So it's a very messy situation. I hope someone someday will clear the mess. Yeah. And where in all of this is the Nigerian midstream and downstream Petroleum Regulatory Agency, which is the agency that fixes prices. They are busy playing possum in NMDPRA. They are playing possum.
Yes. I mean, one thing I took away from Joe Ajaero's statement was that, this whole inflation, and it has basically recalculated our budget at this point. I want to pull off a graphic about, what Nigerians were spending before Tinubu came into power. And here you can see it here. They said before sardine was, 300 Naira, and peak milk was 250, but sardine now is what, 1,800 Naira. So I mean,
add diapers to that.
The diapers for you, but you can see the disparity here. It is huge. I mean, it is really huge. Yes. Now sardine is 1,008, peak milk is 1,000, spaghetti 1,000, derica of beans 2,500. I mean, this is an estimation we did with our interns. They went ahead to find the prices. Tomatoes, I think that there was a bit of relief with tomatoes recently. I don't know. But, I mean, look at the difference at this point, Rufai, inflation.
You see, go and put your mind at rest. Because our chief, Olusegun Oshoba, said Tinubu must do another 4 years. He's a Yoruba man. So all of you people that are eating on Tinubu, you see, you cannot ascribe to malice what you can explain with incompetence. And every day when we try to explain the incompetence of the Nigerian states, politicians tag us as people that have malice against them or their political party. But history and time will vindicate us that we are indeed patriots for the growth of this country. All of this the NNPC is doing is a game. The NNPC has not told us the full truth about the subsidy matter. The same NNPC that denies that they were owing international creditors or those that sold them crude. The same NNPC that's not been able to give us when the Dangote, when the refinery, Port Harcourt refinery will be completed. Sometimes I blame Labour, but sometimes I don't want to blame Labour in this because the president lied to Labour. He told them that the Port Harcourt refinery will be ready by December. This was the part of the first agreement they had when they had the first strike. And those were part of the agreements Labour acceded to be able to let things slide because the president told them it will be ready. Do you know when Mr. Femi Falana went to send a letter to the company that were the contractors that were doing the Port Harcourt refinery? What happened? The contractors said they can't tell him when it's going to be ready. So you have a lot of lies. And I still keep repeating, subsidy has not been removed because that's the new lie they told us today. It's another lie to be able to buy time before they give the next increments. Oji, do you know if you're buying 1,030 Naira per litre, Do you know how much that's going to be in dollars? That's 0.64 cents. All our neighboring countries sell beyond $1 per litre at the pump price. That's to show you subsidies still being paid. But they will keep the lies on because of the games that are going on. Till today, the same NNPC is not telling you how much we are consuming. The same NNPC, and that's why when people are saying NNPC is a marketer, it's a lie. They can change nomenclature, but they can't deceive us. Which other oil marketers have a right to be able to burn money with their NNPC does? The same NNPC that bought 4 trillion on refineries that are not working. Not be me talking. Go and check NNPC's books. They showed us. Like Fela will say, I will open book for you. I will open book for NNPC. They bought 4 trillion on refineries that are not working. Is that one not more than enough to pay the subsidies? Is it not the same NNPC that has been paying for refineries that have not been working all these years that are moribund? So NNPC should please and see. Stop bringing in the regulators, NNDPR and everything. No, it is NNPC that fixes the price. It's not the regulators. The regulators should fix price on paper, but on paper it's NNPC. Why is it that it's NNPC petroleum station? When they increase price, prices go up. Let's call it speed is speed. NNPC has been the real cause of most of these problems. I mean, I'm not blaming them amiss. We have empirical facts to back it up. They have not shown good faith. They've constantly told porkies to a lot of Nigerians. And let us call it speed is speed. You will see when the increment will start again.
Right.
Except they say, oh, free market has taken over. All of a sudden, NNPC that couldn't tell you all this while how much they were used to subsidize fuel now told you that they will have removed the 133 Naira that they are paying in subsidy. Now subsidy has been finally removed. Be deceiving us.
What happened to the refinery again? The one that was supposed to open in August, wasn't it, last month? What did they say?
In August, when they got to August, they said it won't produce again. Then when they wrote the people that are doing the contract work in the refinery letter, they said they will tell Femi Falana on the 2nd of October, the time they will finish. On the 2nd of October, they said they can't disclose the time. As today now, and it's over 44 months. We paid over $1.5 billion for that refinery just to keep working.
Yeah. Needs to be some solution. Meanwhile, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has said that Nigerians should place their love for country above financial gain. Akpabio made the comments on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday while commenting on a motion seeking to address mass migration of Nigerians. Let's take a look.
And to say that even as we are speaking now, there are still some people who are under different guises traveling outside. So the brain drain is a big problem, not just in the educational sector, particularly in the health sector. It's affecting us a lot. The greatest professionals in medicine in the United States of America, from what I read, some people say we have almost 22,000 health workers in the United States of America who are Nigerians, and they are doing extremely well. I've seen that from different reports. And as of today, the country is rather losing the expertise. If they acquired those expertise and returned to Nigeria, it would have been better. But I think also the conditions of service are quite responsible. But I believe people should place love for their country above financial gains.
Love for country. Let me take reactions. This is from Boma, who wrote, "Deceitful tales of lies. Let him and the NAS members earn 70,000 Naira as their salary. Then Nigerians will put love for their country, Nigeria, rebuild our educational institution, and ensure their children attend public schools in the country. Then we shall love this country." Another Twitter user wrote on X, "Love for the country is never the problem. The problem in Nigeria is the poor are getting poorer and the rich getting richer. Inequality and marginalization can never bring love. Everyone deserves financial gain. Our needs are far above what we can afford. Love for country." Our favorite Niger wife, I know you love our country, but you know, it is tough. at this time where, you know, our budget has been rejigged by force by the federal government of Nigeria. Amaechi said, Trekaton, I am part of the people trekking at this point because, I mean, yes, I'm going to get fit from it, but come on.
Stating the obvious by saying she loves our country.
I mean, I know she loves our country.
Somebody will come from Zimbabwe to go and marry
now she loves our country.
Nigerian from Akwa Ibom. And what love can be more than that?
But before I come to you, let me take this, together with this. You know, only recently, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ali Pate, recently spoke about health tourism and Tinubu going for medical treatment abroad. He spoke to journalist Adeola Faihun. Let's take a look.
Health tourism is not a phenomenon that is limited to Nigeria or Africa. There are people who leave the United States and go to East Asia to get medical care. There are people who leave the United Kingdom and go to Africa for medical care. And there are Nigerians who choose, because of all kinds of reasons, to go abroad for medical care. There are many leaders and people from the Africa region who come to Nigeria for medical treatment.
Really?
Yes, they are.
So what will it take for our president to see what these people see in Nigerian health sector?
You are keen in personalizing it with just one individual. The phenomenon of medical tourism,
the president of the country.
The phenomenon of medical tourism is a global phenomenon. And you cannot limit it just one individual. What we are saying and what President Tinubu is trying to do is to transform Nigerian healthcare system so that it works for everyone.
Our favorite Niger wife. I hope you heard that sound bite loud and clear.
I heard it loud and clear.
We shouldn't tackle the president for going on medical tourism, but he's trying to transform the medical system here, and people are coming to Nigeria for medical tourism while our president is going out. Love for country, our favorite Niger wife.
You know, there's a saying I love very much, which says that a nation usually imbibes the spirit of its leader. And so for me, it's quite profound that, you know, Godswill Akpabio will be talking about, you know, you should love your country more than financial gain, because I feel that conversation needs to begin there in the Senate with his colleagues, you know, in the House of Representatives with his colleagues, in the executive with his colleagues. Let's have that conversation at the leadership level and say, hey, my comrades here at the table, can we rather, let's choose our country over financial gain. You know, was it last month or a couple of months ago, President Joe Biden took his 2 weeks vacation and he went to Delaware. And what they did in Delaware is they sent pictures of him on the beach every day hanging out with his wife. And he didn't go anywhere, he didn't travel abroad, he didn't go anywhere internationally. Here in Africa, I always have to commend South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who always looks for a resort somewhere in South Africa. When he takes his annual leave, he'll either go to his farm in Palapala, or he'll go to Cape Town, or he'll go to Port Elizabeth, but he always keeps it very local. And it's such a great opportunity for us to package our country as well and to show the world what we have. But, you know, for us to now sit and look at the people who are doing all they can, grappling with, do you know what it means to wake up one day and suddenly find out that fuel has just gone up, and nobody even has the courtesy to send out a press release or whatever. It's by gist that you see. They said the fuel has gone up, or people will start calling you, fuel has gone up. Have you heard? We didn't even know the real price until journalists started driving around to the different fuel stations to find out, okay, this is the development that has happened. So somebody whose salary has not changed, whose income has not changed, is now battling with the reality of how this is going to impact their daily bread. And this person now finds a better opportunity somewhere where they can make something of themselves and look after their families and support their families and get them a good education and get them not have to worry about your children drinking clean water. Just something as basic as your children drinking clean water. So, you know, it's very unfair for us to now try and blackmail people who are just seeking self-preservation and now say that you need to love your country more. That's the first point. And the second point is that we also need to separate love for country, patriotism, from love for government or current administration. People are allowed to dislike the administration in power, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't love their country. Yes. We have to separate those things.
I like that. Very well said, our favorite Nigeria. I love the word that you use, blackmail. Dr. Abati, a comment from you.
Okay, no, she just made a point. Love of country is to be separated from love of the administration. Oftentimes, politicians confuse the two.
Yes.
They think that if you criticize government, then you don't like your country. Nationalism is different.
Absolutely
the principle
different.
in Latin maxim is pro patria mori e dulce decorum. It is fit and proper for one to live and die for one's country. That's nationalism. And I'm sure that there are more than enough Nigerians who love this country. The ones who japa, who leave Nigeria, it's not because they don't love Nigeria. It's because circumstances here have been made difficult by the politicians that lead us. The question to pose is that, do the politicians, the people in positions of power, do they love Nigeria?
That's the question.
Because if they love Nigeria, they will not be punishing Nigeria in this manner.
Yeah.
They told us, President Tinubu told us, hello for Kambale. Okay, we are all in a state of anxiety,
That is what it
particularly on this occasion of World Mental Health Day.
Yeah.
The entire country is suffering from mass psychosis because people are not happy, people are depressed, people can no longer buy basic necessities, they cannot feed. It is the leaders of Nigeria who say we should sacrifice and love our country. They are the ones who should make necessary sacrifices and love the country and identify with the long-suffering masses of Nigeria who, as I said, are likely to suffer more as the social effect of this hike in petroleum prices and rising expectations and the hike in everything will begin to affect us.
Right.
We who do not have access to yachts, do not have access to, what is that, the vehicle, brand new SUVs at state expense, and
at state
you know, foreign vacations at state expense, you know, foreign medical trip at state expense. No, they must identify with the people. That's when they can talk about love of country.
Speaking about nationalism, let's take another story relates to this story. The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Lanre Issa Onilu, in a statement on Wednesday said that Nigerians should seek permission before using the national anthem. The readopted anthem, Nigeria We Hail Thee, written by Lillian Jean Williams in 1959, has been controversial since the National Anthem Bill 2024 was signed into law on May 29th to mark the one-year anniversary of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, Issa Onilu in a statement said that the permission was necessary to avoid misinterpretation, adding that press conferences will be held across all states to initiate the sensitization campaign on the agency's new policies. Dr. Abati, I am just quite appalled by this, statement that came out. But he didn't really go into details as to why and what that misrepresentation means. But let me take some reactions before I come to you. This is from Daniel, who wrote, "Only the DG of NOA knows what he is talking about. The law that established education in Nigeria already empowered the schools to recite the national anthem before the start of the academic day. It is also like that in many establishments." I mean, what's going to happen during the rehearsals? What's going to happen during the rehearsals? Go ahead.
Well, it's good that we see the National Orientation Agency waking up. Before now, that National Orientation Agency was comatose. And Malam Lanre Issa Onilu himself made it very clear that this agency now is going to focus more on promotion of national values and also promotion of local values in a country where one of the problems we have is moral turpitude and the failure, the collapse of values, where young girls will come home with very expensive hair wigs and parents no longer ask them where they got them from. Where young boys will come home with brand new vehicles and their parents will say, "Oh, God has blessed my child." So there is a need, as Lanre Issa Onilu pointed out, for value reorientation. One of the things he also said is that the Nigerian flag is being abused, that the color of the Nigerian flag is green, white, green, and that the green is Emerald 2.0. So to the extent that that agency is waking up, I think it's something to welcome. And there is a lot that the National Orientation Agency can do if it gets the right kind of support, not just about values, but about so many things that have gone wrong in this country, including the re-education of our politicians, of the political class. Now the controversial part is it says we have to take permission to sing the national anthem. Well, you made the point, Ojinika, you said he didn't give details. The devil is in the details. What kind of permission? The national anthem is a national property. It is a property of the Nigerian people. It says the NOA is wading in because of misuse. Okay, how do people misuse the national anthem? Okay, I really don't know. He has to explain that to us. Because, well, national anthem, even when people are holding village meetings sometimes, either at home or in diaspora, they will sing the national anthem. And what bureaucracy will be put in place to effect and monitor. I don't think that the National Orientation Agency has the capacity to address that. So they have more important things to worry about, you know, in terms of value education, not national anthem. Let people sing national anthem the way they want. And there are many versions of the national anthem anyway. I've seen national anthem played with a talking drum. I've seen the national anthem in disco format. I've seen the national anthem in jazz form. Whichever way, just to remind our people that, well, they are Nigerians.
I'm seeing a report, Dr. Abati, that was posted 26 seconds ago on Naira Metrics saying that no permission is required before using the national anthem. So they have just
So the Deputy Director of Press for the National Orientation Agency, that's Paul Odenyi, said that the statement was taken out of context. So what he's saying is that they were just trying to emphasize the fact that the correct melody needs to be used and the correct where the national symbols, the flag and so forth are being used, that the correct assets should always be used. So he's kind of backtracking and he's saying that the DG was taken out of context. All they're trying to do is to encourage people to ensure that they're singing the correct national anthem, so they will always make sure that the correct version of everything is available.
Very good. I mean, the
public.
National Orientation Agency is such an important agency and they need to continue with their sensitization. Because of time, Rufai, let me take this story.
Okay, there's a press release here.
Yes, that's what I just read out to you. Well, let's take this story. Dismissed female soldier Ruth Ogunleye, who accused 3 senior officers in the Nigerian army of harassment, intimidation, and threat to her life, has appealed to the Chief of Army Staff, Torid Lagbaja, to review the outcome of the investigation that led to her dismissal. Ogunleye stated in a video published on TikTok that she believes someone tampered with the outcome of the investigation. She also apologized to Lagbaja over her earlier comments against him, adding that her comments were triggered by frustration. Let's take a look.
I'm sorry, have mercy for disrespecting you. Have mercy. Forgive me, sir. So this has to do with my reputation, my name. You know, it's not good for one to be stigmatized. It's not good. You know, stigma can lead people to death. And I will also beg you, if the case will be reviewed, because I feel someone somewhere tampered with the result. I'm very, very sorry, sir. I don't want to say much on this video, and I don't want to make it look as if I am assuming or any assumption. This video is for just to apologize to you, sir. Only you. Dari Jimmy, Emma Binu, sir. I'm very, very sorry, sir.
All right. It's good that she has apologized to the chief, to Torid Lagbaja at this moment. And, you know, this is what we called for a complete review of the investigation. They accused her of, you know, mental health issues. I mean, coming on World Mental Health Day, I think it is important that we encourage this young lady at this moment to continue to fight for her right. It's good. And we'll continue to follow up on this story. Well, before we end What's Trending today, let's take our good news report highlighting a Nigerian professor who became the first black president of the State University of New York at Oswego in the United States. On September 27th, Dr. Peter Nwosu, who hails from Anambra State, Nigeria, was inaugurated as the 11th president of the State University of New York, an institution that was established in 1861. President Nwosu joined the institution from the City University of New York, where he was provost and senior vice president for academic affairs and student success. He is a graduate of the Harvard Institutes for Higher Education and earned his PhD in communication studies from Howard University in Washington, D.C. Dr. Nwosu is a passionate advocate for access to high-quality education and a strong believer in the power of collaboration and shared governance. He was joined by family and well-wishers as he became the first Black president of the institution.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the State of New York, I hereby present you, friends of the university, the 11th president of the State University of New York at Oswego, Dr. Peter Nwosu.
Congratulations, huge congratulations, Nigeria.
We are heavily represented.
We are heavily represented.
All of our
yes. You saw that. Congratulations, congratulations. Well, all right. I'd love to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.